All right, so here we are. We're doing a time-lapse demonstration of how the seed pucks that we've been creating here with lake weeds off of Lake Choga and Lake Victoria are going to function. So what we're doing is we're setting up a miniature desert. So we're using sand, bricks, plywood. We needed to put it on a table so that the dogs don't disturb it, because this is like a 2 to 3 week time lapse, okay? And so the sand is coming in now. These bricks are representing sort of the bedrock. And we're gonna build a little miniature community here and put the seed pucks on here. And the team here is just working away, getting it all set up. And we got camera A over there filming the time lapse, and here it is. So we're making a little miniature desert to demonstrate how the seed pucks, with very little water, can turn sandy areas with very little nutrients into lush, beautiful gardens in a very, very quick period of time, because they have a very fast germination rate and a lot of nutrients in them, and they create this beautiful sort of topsoil. So we've got the kids here participating with us. They're gonna make some little clay houses out of termite mud. Kimberly, you ready to make a house? You're gonna build your first house today, okay? All right. Stay tuned. Hey, big boy. Hi. Good job. Okay, so we've officially set up the mound of sand, which is replicating our sort of desert environment. We're in a very good sunny spot, I should say. And so here we have our seed pucks. We're gonna get ready to put the seeds in. And for the purposes of making this video, we've pre-germinated or soaked these seeds just to speed it up a little bit. We suspect the whole process here is gonna take about 2 weeks to really see that explosion of growth. But so you see the little hole here. Come over here. You can see here we've put the concept of a house, all right? It's a little artsy-fartsy there. This is all termite clay, so that's gonna harden up and crack in the sun as the time-lapse goes on. We've tamped down all the sand. This is just an example of a sandy landscape with no topsoil. This seed puck is our topsoil. Here we have the moringa seeds, which have been soaking for a day or two, which means they're gonna activate relatively quickly. And I'm just gonna stick it right in there. Then I'm gonna place that right there. And that's how seed pucks work. And after that, we're gonna come in here and water it. So now we're gonna go back to the time lapse of us plugging the seeds in to the seed pucks. There you go. This is a biodiesel. Here we have moringa, health food, as well as biodiesel. Over here we have what looks like a type of a cassia. Looks like a tree seed. Here we have typical beans. These are just kidney beans. These are gonna grow relatively quickly. We chose species that we want to grow quickly. These are sort of another type of cassia tree that grows on our property. They might take a bit longer, but they've been pre-soaking, which is good. And then we have the infamous peas, which will sprout pretty quickly here. So we're hopeful that we'll get some succession of all the different plants coming out at the same time. Without further ado, let's go to the next time lapse. All right, so here we are. We're still in the time-lapse sequence, but now you can see we've deployed the pucks, and those all have moringa seeds plugged into them, a couple jatropha here and there. And Joseph, grab the watering can and do the honors. Joseph is a fairly tall guy, so he's the right man for the job. Ready? And all he's gonna do is sprinkle slowly. Go ahead.
Not too much, slowly though. Let's get each puck. And we're just gonna soak these pucks. Alright, so there's mimicking rain or irrigation.
And see them expanding slowly. It's been about, I would say, only 10 minutes, right? Since we started watering them. We're just applying a very small amount of water, and you can see them starting to absorb, just like if you got a toilet paper roll wet. And you can really see how rich the lake weeds are. It just looks like pure compost there, basically. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes into watering these seed pucks, which are on the landscape now. Now we've put a lot of seed pucks. I've used these a fair amount. So this whole thing is gonna have a very thick layer of topsoil very quickly here. We're gonna keep doing this for another 20-30 minutes, just watering them, just like watching toilet paper rolls just get soaking wet. They expand, and then we're gonna tamp that. We're gonna kind of smooth that around, mimicking what would normally take in nature if you put thousands of these on a desert landscape, maybe like a week, depending on how the rains and how the seeds and how the birds and insects and all the different animals that'll come start to move it around and spread it out. We're just speeding it up with our hands. But there we go, pushing on. What I'm doing here on the side, I've got my seed pucks in a bag here, and we've got some cracked ones, and these are just left over. You can also see the dry substrate here like this, and it's
so rich.
And we also mix this with frass from black soldier fly larvae, so it's incredibly rich nutrient substrate. And what I've done is I've got this bucket, and I've got the bucket with about a quarter of water, and I'm just filling this stuff in with seed pucks, and see what happens here. You put the pucks in the water, and then in a very short period of time, that'll turn into substrate that we can also just use. This is a quick and easy way to do it if you're on a agricultural property. You just drop it in the water. Doink, simple as that. And literally within, I think, maximum 20-30 minutes, it's a fluffy grow substrate, just like peat moss or cocoa peat. And yeah, with the black soldier fly frass inside there as well, you're looking at a really good starting point for any of your horticultural projects, or your nurseries, or your landscaping projects. And the thing I love about the seed pucks the most is that this one, for example, doesn't have a hole in it, but the thing I love about it is when you put that hole in it, we can custom deliver any amount of forestry or horticultural products with seeds inside anywhere in the world in a shipping container, because this is highly compressed. You'll see this bucket, the way it looks now, is going to explode. It's going to fill up like this, and it's just going to be full of that nutrient that we can use for all the different needs that we want. Yeah, that's